What's going on, y'all, man? It's your boy DP, and today I have a special guest, a long-time friend of mine as well, Deshaun Johnson, the Guruofabs. What's going on, man?
My guy, what you know good?
What's going on? But before we get started, this podcast is brought to you guys by the Heat Challenge. The Heat Challenge is a 6-week fitness transformation challenge built to help you develop lasting nutrition and exercise habits. Over the course of 6 weeks, 5 winners with the most significant transformations will be paid $5,000 each, totaling $25,000 total. You can sign up today by going to www.HEATXtreme.com. That's HEATXtreme.com to reserve your spot. Man, been a struggle trying to get this thing going today.
Hey man, we here now. That's all that matters.
So you are literally my first guest on my podcast, and I thought it would be important and beneficial for a lot of people to know who you are and how me and you met. And,
Right.
just the, the relationship in itself. So, I'll ask you, I never let you tell the story. I always tell the story. So I'm going to let you tell the story. How did me and you end up connecting?
I tell people, man, I got a few DMs, this little light-skinned dude with all these tattoos messaging me, telling me to check his page out. And I was like, man, I ain't checking his page out. I ain't checking his page out. You kept hitting me week after week. And I said, you know what? Man, let me see what this dude talking about. Let me see who it is. And then when I checked it out, I was like, oh, shit. Look, he pretty legit. So then, we corresponded via DM. Then we chatted. Then you said straight up, like, look, man, I'm trying to come to Atlanta. I'm trying to make my presence known up there. And then you came up there, man. And honestly, I can say the rest was history because I remember that first trip when you came up here, man. We went to an event. And then after that event, skies was the limit.
You never lied. That was the meeting of a lot of different people. That's when
Exactly.
I first met. That's when I first met you. That was when I first met Portia, which was Portia Williams, which was my first client in Atlanta. And from there, man, we got connected. I came up every weekend. I was driving from Valdosta, Georgia, so that was about a 3-hour drive that I would make all the way up to Atlanta just to train Portia Williams. Because I didn't want her to know I didn't live in Atlanta, because I didn't want to miss out on that opportunity. But at the same time, it gave me a chance, and you was nice enough to let me sleep on your couch and come up every weekend and, interfere with your weekend life and routine. So again, man, I appreciate everything. I always pay homage to, the connection and the opportunity, that I received from you, because I didn't know anybody. And still to this day, it's the only person I kind of really mess with, one of my closest best friends. And here you guys have it, six years later.
That's it,
6
man.
years later.
It seemed like it was yesterday when you were just talking about the challenge. Like, yo, man, I want to get back to the online aspect. And I was like, you first did it. You barely broke even. You was upside down. So to see where it was at now, everything that you sacrificed, man, like I said, I always tell people I'm a fan. I'm excited to sit back and watch it unveil, because I remember when it was just an idea, when it was a thought process, when it was it was a lot of nervousness behind it, because at that point in time, people wasn't acclimated to the whole virtual aspect. Everybody was on, classes and all of that. So, it's amazing to see exactly how you have changed it, but the program has birthed into something you truly didn't imagine what, it birthing into.
Exactly. And so a lot of, depending on who's watching, hopefully everybody does know who you are. But for the people who have no idea, who don't know your story, what was the background that led you into creating a career in fitness? And did you have any type of athletic background like myself, or, how did you get into the fitness realm?
Oh, okay. Well, first and foremost, I did have an athletic background. I played college football, started up in Iowa. And then after Iowa, I came back home to Georgia to be closer to my son, who was born back in '03. I went to West Georgia for a minute, and then I eventually came into Clark, Atlanta, which got me closest to my son. And I started playing football there. But then while I was playing football, my roommate at the time had just got a front desk job at LA Fitness. He was like, yo, man, I know you want something to do versus, just trying to get a work study check. So I went up there to LA Fitness in Atlantic Station, got me a job. And man, the rest was history because I fell in love more so with fitness than I did actually playing football. And then, started off as a personal trainer salesman and then eventually getting certified and just building it from the ground up. And then the whole name came from an aspect when I was doing my classes free for a year, right when Instagram first came out. Don't laugh. My first personal training company was called Superman ATL Fitness. I still got their business card to my day. And when Instagram came out, we was back there one day. Everybody was coming up with their name, and the dude was just like, "Man, you got to come up with something that's not so generic." And then we kept thinking about it. And then one day, this lady just came out the class. She said, "Mr. Deshaun, you're just so good with these apps. You're like a guru," and it just stuck with me. And then I just said, you know what? That lady said something. Then when I figured out what she said, I looked it up. And then a guru is an individual that obtains the knowledge in a certain area, but uses it to guide others. So I took the name and studied it and lived up to it and made sure my presentation matched what I was claiming. So, that's how the Guru of Apps came about. To this day, I wish I could find out who the lady was, but I probably won't. But to this day, that came from, upholding a name versus someone giving it to me. I took it, ran with it. And to this day, I just live up to it and make sure it's everything that I present myself to be.
Well, big shout out to the unknown lady who gave you the name that you're rocking out with. And for anybody who does not know who Deshaun is and wonder why they call him the Guru of Abs, make sure you guys go check out his page. This man has abs for like days. And, that was probably one of the biggest things, when I started in my career, is one of the biggest things I wanted to do. I was just searching like, yo, man, like, how do you get abs? I was just like everybody else. I kind of, wanted to know how to get abs. What was the secret trick, or what did I have to do? And that was another reason why I reached out to you. One, because I didn't know anybody in Atlanta. Two, I was trying to connect with somebody that, would take me in and just welcome me into Atlanta, show me around, things like that. I didn't know anybody in the field, and this was just my first time getting in the field. So, definitely lives up to his name. Make sure you guys go check his Instagram out. If you guys are looking for abs, he's got abs that he can probably let you guys rent and borrow because he got them for days. But second thing I want, a lot of people want to know is, how did you ever start gaining traction on your social media account?
Well, for me, I tell people to this day, it's one thing you can't pay for, and that's respect. And, what I started doing was, when I was at LA Fitness, I wanted to be that trainer. I wanted to be that guy that had a very well respected class. And I ran my classes free for a whole year. And to this day, anybody that knows me know I'm known for giving away free content because it's just, you have to make people a believer in what you're doing. And you look at it now, DP, when we first started, fitness wasn't this big. And now, it's so overwhelming to this day. We still have to go back to, the basics and, putting free content out there so people can know what they're getting. So when we do put something up there with a price tag on it, they know the value that's going to come behind their program because of what we do and allow them to experience. So, to get the notoriety that I got, I just put myself out there, just continue to give it away for free. And, some stuff, like when we did our first challenge, we charged for it. We had a nice response because people knew what we brought to the table when it was time to, sign up for something that we put our name on.
Right. So, you speaking of price points and things to that, when you first started posting on social media, did you ever think that this would turn into a full-time career for you?
I did not. And it was moments I used to scratch my head like, what next? Like, what's next year. But it's like now we're finally getting to that point to where we have some momentum to actually build a legacy and pass this torch to somebody, whether somebody in our family or somebody that just want to carry the brand name. And I'm finally seeing the big picture 14 years later. So I always tell people, like, don't rush it. When they say, how do you get to that point? How do you do this? First, for one, you got to struggle. You got to be broke. You got to be willing to be lied to. It's a whole lot of trials and tribulations that's come to the point that we got to, and that a lot of people don't understand that. And, they look at us sometimes as being selfish, and it's not being selfish. We just want you to understand the triumphs we've been through, but also be able to overcome those obstacles that we did. Because if you don't face those adversities, when you do get hit with it, you're not gonna know how to adjust. So that's why I always tell people, you got to be willing to overcome those adversities and understand what it is, and understand how to surpass it. So if it comes again, you know how to deal with it.
There you go. And I'm gonna let you guys in on a inside joke. So for anybody that's been following us for however long, if you guys were with us when we did the Bad Boys of Fitness and any of those things, and we were traveling, going to different cities, we partnered and on classes and would go city to city. And mind you guys, I knew nothing about teaching the class. I was fresh into training. I just got my certification. I'm talking about like not even a year, probably not even 6 months into training, knew nothing about teaching a personal class. I mean, a group class. So we would go to these different cities and we would go with no type of plan, no type of structure. So for anybody that had a class with us, y'all thought that it was awesome. Like that was a freestyle off the off the whim, and it would be something like it would go like this. It'd be like, all right, who's gonna go first? Right. And he go or I go, and then what we would try to do, and well, at least I could say this for me. What I would try to do was, if I had to go first, I'm like, okay, well, let me get the people warmed up. And then if he had to go first, I would be like, all right, whatever exercise he did, I got to top that. And that's how we kind of got started. And, I think that that's just a funny memory for me that, I didn't know what I was doing. I was really taking notes the entire time, trying to figure out a lane for myself, because I admired the fact that you were doing classes. I admired the fact that you were training. And I'm just like, man, this dude is really killing it out here. And this is something I have an interest in. I'm not saying that I wanted to do the exact things that you were doing. It was just like, no, I really want to do something in fitness. This guy is doing stuff that, I think I can do. I have an interest in doing. And you really showed me a lot, man. So, that's just a memory that I had that, I'm like, we would go to New York and sell these places out.
Man, and
everywhere and sell out. And that was the funny thing. We would go everywhere and sell the places out, but we went with no plan. We just were just raw talent, but we had a good time, man. And then you look up now, 6 weeks later, we both built our brands to the point to where we're nationally known for what we do. And I think the biggest thing for both of us is there's a great deal of respect for what each one does. We don't, there's a lot of different trainers out here, a lot of people trying to do what the other person is doing. And I think the biggest thing that we both respected about each other is we've always had two different approaches to fitness. And, if there was something that people needed that Deshaun offered, I would send them to him. Still to this day, if there's things that I don't offer that Deshaun offers, I send them to Deshaun, and vice versa. There's things that I offer that he doesn't offer, he sends them to me. And I think that's the biggest respect thing between us that, keeps that relationship going and keeps it fresh. But what was your take on like the whole traveling and all that?
it was one of those where we were building but finding ourselves at the same time. It's like I never forget that one time we was in the hotel in New York looking at, the building when 9/11 had just happened. They was rebuilding
Yep.
it. And you were just starting the online training. I'm sitting there sleeping. All I heard was that ching 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 ching. Like, man, what the hell is that? So man, that's the online clients. That's when you open my eyes up. So it's like while we were both hustling and traveling, we were still finding ourselves while growing at the same time. People still trying to play, I'm not going to say play catch up, but people was looking up to what we're doing. But at the same time, we were literally building as we were traveling, not knowing our next destination. We just putting post up, hey, what city to come to next? And, some cities we went to, we made money. Some cities we didn't. But a lot of people don't understand that, like, to get that name or to be known as a traveling trainer, you have to put yourself out there as one, and that's what we did. So to this day, when people hit us up, they know when we come somewhere, what we coming with, how we go rock out. And I just think that's one of the things when we started traveling, man. It wasn't more so about the money; it was just the excitement of us just traveling, teaching, and just having fun, and just meeting people that actually wanted to see us. Like, wow, y'all came here just to see us, like teach class. Oh, cool, come on. So it was actually a great learning experience that I never forget to this day.
And I think that's one of the things that trainers, a lot. I know on my end, I get a lot of people asking, can I mentor? What should I do? What's the next step? Things of that nature. And my first response is, there's not a book for this. I don't know if I can say I necessarily have a mentor, but I know for sure me and you stay in contact, bouncing ideas off of one another left and right. Now, we've been doing that for 6 years. Mm-hmm. And I always tell people, sometimes you just got to get out there, and if you believe in something that strong, if you believe in what you're doing, you have a passion for it, and you happen to fail, just get back up, try to figure out what caused you to fail. What was it that the people did not like? What was it that people liked? And perfect it, re-innovate it, and things of that nature. So I think that's a great, feedback for people that are listening, that are getting or wanting to get into training. Just you got to get out there. Especially if you're trying to make a name for yourself, there might be some times that you guys may not make any money. There may be some times that you guys make some money, but the goal is to keep pushing forward and keep perfecting your brand. And I think that we both have that drive in common, that motivation in common, determination in common. And that's just something that brought us to the point that we are today. Right. So for the people that are listening, you teach a very unique style of training and a very unique style of classes. What is that?
So, I always tell people my approach to it is all body type, all fitness level, low impact to moderate intensity. Rarely will you see me go high impact. And it's like you said earlier, we always send people each other way. So when people say, hey, do you have anything that's high intensity? I say I do not, but you can definitely go check out my brother, I Am the Real DP. With HEATXtreme, I guarantee you it'll break you down. And you've seen that when we do classes, people are like, oh, he tried to take me out. No, he didn't. That's just his style of teaching. And right. I tell people, my intensity and approach is that, with me having a wide variety of people, I try to tap into the people that can't complete your program, but we can graduate them to your program if that makes sense. So it's like I'm getting the people that need the low impact, that need the detailed instructional, that need the modifications. I can take you there. But when you're ready for that next level, we can pass you over to another program. So when you have instilled what I've learned, what you learned from me, now when you go to DP, you can see now you can take those same techniques, but now you're going to move at a faster pace. You're not going to have as many breaks. You're going to have very quick movements. Whereas with me, we're going to take our time. We're going to focus on range of motion technique. You do the same thing, but you pretty much give them a more hardcore approach than I do. I give them a little passive aggressiveness. So they be like, oh, I didn't feel that. But the next day they wake up, they felt like they got hit by a truck.
They definitely felt it the next few days.
So we try to slow them, and that's one thing what a lot of trainers fail to do. To be able to service as many people as you want to, you have to have a variety of teaching techniques, because I can go high intensity, but I know what my audience likes to respond to. So that way, when we do collaborate, like we will, people can see that, okay, both brands can come together and not feel like it's stepping on each other's toes, because it's the best of both worlds. And I think that's one thing we do great at when we do collaborate. People know that, okay, Deshaun is going to give you abs from the standing position, but the DP does abs. You're going to have a little bit more hardcore down from the ground. But if you learn the fundamentals from Deshaun while standing, when you do get down on the ground, you can instill those same fundamentals into a more advanced workout, if that makes sense.
Yep, definitely how it is. So you have a very unique. I'm gonna take it back. They call you the guru of abs, and you came up with a very innovative way of teaching ab exercises. Can you talk about that a little bit?
So what my approach to doing abs is that most people typically like to. No, I'm sorry. Let me take it back. Most people are afraid to get down on the ground and do abs because they are afraid, because they have poor lower core strength, poor lower back strength, right? So I said, we can do this from the standing motion. I'm going to tell you a funny story since we've been transparent on here. The way standing abs came about, one night, it was a Friday, I went out to the club, got hammered. And I was like, oh, shoot, I got class the next day. So when I got to the gym, I was like, yo, I cannot lay down. This is going to come up if I lay down. So I literally stood up the whole class, freestyled my ass off. And after that one class, they were like, oh my God, I didn't know you can do abs standing up. Can we keep this going? And literally from that one Saturday, all from being lazy, I created a hit. So I learned, and then I did my research, came up with the 3 planes of motion, which is sagittal plane, horizontal plane, and frontal plane. So sagittal, you're bending front and back, top, working the upper, middle, lower abs. Horizontal, you're rotating left to right. That's your rotational twist. And the frontal plane, you're going side to side. So I try to show people how to use the 3 planes of motion. But now you're able to, if you have bad knees, back, lower core strength, you can stand up and still do the basic movements to core condition your core. Now, we can get down on the ground, but when you learn those 3 planes of motion and how to properly breathe and exhale, now it'll be much easier for you to go through those abdominal exercises. So that's my approach, to show people how to do it from the standing position, seated position, kneeling position, any way possible for them to work their abs.
So you guys heard it here first. The best way to come up with a innovative workout is go to the club, get smacked, and then come up with a unique style to train people. No, I'm just playing, man. That's pretty dope, and I think that it's funny because you have a style of training and a style of teaching classes that no one else is doing. Standing ab exercises, standing sculpting ab exercises. Nobody else is doing that. And you also tapped into a untouched market recently here lately, and it has brought a lot of traction, a lot of interest, and a lot of hype your way. Was even talked about in LA on the LA news last week, to be exact. What's all the hype about? What is everybody talking about?
So they're talking about, this one here is what I call my baby. The brand is the baby, but senior body sculpting, that's my most precious program, because senior body sculpting, that's a low impact functional training workout that's designed for senior citizens and or individuals with physical limitations. So we do a lot of exercises from the seated position, but we also do basic low impact, modified if needed, functional training movements from the standing position as well. And man, when I say DP, man, this is one of the most exciting programs, because right now we're on Facebook Live Monday through Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern. And every day we have about 3,000 seniors tuned in virtually. And, that's unheard of because most senior citizens are not tech savvy. They're not cool with getting on social media. But to have 3,000 seniors get on social media day in and day out to work out with me from the comfort of their own home, it's motivating. And it motivates me to get up to continue to find something for them to instill in every day when they get up.
There you go. So if you guys you guys do have moms, grandmothers, grandfathers, uncles, aunts, someone who definitely would like to lose weight or definitely would like to have a focus in their fitness journey to become healthier, and they are a senior citizen or a senior, make sure you guys have them check out Deshauns class, the Facebook group, because he has a lot going on and it's a lot of hype. Again, it reached all the way to LA on LA's news of what Deshaun's doing here in Atlanta for the seniors. And I think that that's pretty dope. The next thing, so outside of the fitness world, what do me and you have in common? What's keeping the friendship going so long where people are like, these guys are still friends? Like, what do you think it is that we have in common or that's keeping the connection going?
I would say first thing first is that we genuinely connected before one another reached a platform of success to where someone would feel like someone is hanging on for the wrong reason. So we struggled together. We built a true brotherhood. So that's why I tell people when I see you do certain stuff, I'm just as excited as if I didn't know it was coming, if I didn't expect you to do it, because I remember those days sitting on the sofa where we was going meal to meal in the refrigerator.
Right.
We would just, the true struggle. And, aside from that, we're both fathers. We've been around each other kids since they was little. And, we built so much leading up to this point. And I would say the one thing that really keeps us together is that we're always chasing something, whether it's that next product, that next program. Like we never sit back and let one another get comfortable. It's just like every time I'm always calling, you an answer. Anytime you call, I'm answering. We're always trying to keep people guessing or just to shake up the industry because we can do that. It's just like with rappers. When they go in the studio, they're like, yeah, that's going to be a banger. They going to like this one. But when we get together and come up with exercises and workouts, we're like, yo, yeah, that's going to be a hit. So it's just, we're always chasing something that can motivate others, but also be something dope when we put it together.
Yeah, and I think that that's one of the biggest things. It's always, and this is it seems like every month I'll either send you a DM or send you a text message. And I just be like, man, look, dog, I'm proud of you, dog. Like,
right.
Just to see, the growth of where you started, where you are now, the new things that you're coming up with, the way business is taking off now. Like, I'm literally probably, if not one of your biggest fans, because like you said, like I was there when we were in the trenches and we were up all night on the computers trying to figure out like what's the next move, what do you think I should do, or just bouncing ideas off each other, and to really see the growth of where you are now. It's just like I'm just waiting. All right, what's he gonna do next? What's he gonna do next? Or what I'm saying, or just waiting for you to be like, yo, man, what you think about this? What you think about this?
And I think people don't understand that right there is what you just said, is that when we see each other do something, like when we're talking about what we made or what we can make, it just be so exciting that we can share those ideas between us, but still motivate one another. I can say a number and you be like, oh shit. Or you can say a number and like, oh shit. But at the same time, it's not where we're being nosed. It's like where we're motivating each other. And it's just like, okay, if you made that by yourself and I made this by myself, and
we just know where we came from. Yeah, man. Right. We know where we came from. You like, you did how much?
Right.
You did what?
And you remember
like, hey, what you doing?
and I remember when we did that first challenge, and I think that first challenge, we had made like 12, 15,000. And then we was like, yo, like we did it. We made some money. But looking at it now, That's nothing, but it's
Right.
levels. Not trying to sound cliche. It's levels to where we are, and even at ourselves, we don't even look at ourselves up there. Like I'd be surprised to this day, like this many people are receptive to my products, to my program, and I still have to tell myself like, keep going. Like
Yeah.
you're finally at that point. Like don't settle. Now it's time to mash the gas some more and go a little faster and go a little further because it's like we're not gonna do this forever. So we gotta build it while we can now, and then just get ready to leave this to somebody else to keep on going.
Exactly. And I think that that's the biggest thing is just realizing like, we worked hard. We put in some long hours. We lost a shit ton of money. You know what I'm saying? And really to see where we are now, not saying that we made it, but just to see that, all the hard work, all the time, all the effort, all the sweat, all the tears, all the sacrifices, is now starting to pay off. And it's not even
Mm-hmm.
saying that we're at the top of the mountain. I still tell people like, I'm just getting started. You guys are just
Right.
starting to see what I've been trying to show you guys for a minute, but
Exactly.
it's still some fire in this tank, and it's still a lot of stuff that we want to do. And I think when we partnered for something called the Bad Boys of Fitness,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that was one of the that for me that was one of the biggest things and biggest projects that I had the most fun on because it was one I was partnering with somebody which I really never do. And we had a very successful program. And to me, I would like to say and I could be venturing out. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but you might want to timestamp some stuff. We really started the online training or the traveling business.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and really sparked it to where it was something that was hot or was something that people wanted to do because before then, like training wasn't the thing. It wasn't nothing that, the world was looking at. It wasn't the focus. I mean, it was out there. Don't get me wrong. It was definitely out there. People were training, but now it's the thing to do. You know, everybody you look at, is working out in some aspect, shape or form. They're health conscious and they're trying to show, even on Instagram, you got your celebrities. Every celebrity has a post on their page right now of them working out. Every last one of them. And, I think that that's pretty dope that we had a finger and a foot in getting that started. Um, Outside that, and speaking of celebrities, what you want to name some celebrities that you work with, and like what was that experience like?
I mean, I don't work with a few, but working with the celebrities actually made me want to grind harder so I can get to the level that they were at as far as exposure and opportunities because working around celebrities you see how they get treated when they're going to events. You see the amount of money that's thrown at them and the opportunities. So working with celebrity was good to get the brand out there, but it was more so motivational to get myself to that point to where I don't want to be classified as celebrity, but I want my presence to be demanded like that when it comes to doing fitness. And,
There you go.
working with celebrities just opened my eyes to bigger pictures on to how there's so much out here for us if we put ourselves in the right position to be, given those opportunities.
And see, Deshaun's being very humble right now, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't want to tell y'all some of the major names that he's worked with. But I think one for me that you worked with that it's still to this day it blew my mind because I think that you have celebrities and then you have uh, well known celebrities and then you have like stars.
Right.
And I think that one of the people that you work with that just kind of blew my mind was Brandy. Like
Right.
everybody knows wshe you ain't gotta say her last name, Brandy. And you worked with her quite often. Like you have her number, have her contact, and I thought that was just dope. And I think for me during that time, it was just I seen things in a different light, and like you said, I never want to be known as a celebrity trainer. Uh, Personally, I do have a celebrity clientele, but I think that at this point we've grown our brands to be recognized for our actual brand. And the fact that you said, you like, or you want it to be recognized on the same pedestal as a celebrity in your field, I think that that's safe to say that, in the fitness field, especially in Atlanta, that has been accomplished. And I think you've done a hell of a job. I think you have a lot of up and coming trainers, a lot of people who are in fitness who really, really look up to you and all that you do. And I think that I personally, have a huge respect for just the person that you are. A lot of people, they'll see Sean and, he's 6'4", tattoos everywhere. It's like a big BP in a sense, I see it like, I got to get tattoos if I want to be in the fitness world. So I had to go get some tattoos, but you see Sean 6'4", tattoos everywhere. And at the end of the day, once you get to know him, he's like the gentle giant, very soft spoken, very welcoming, very loving, and very approachable and very teachable to people who, want information, want education, and want to become better. And I think, especially in the training field, you have a lot of respect for or from a lot of trainers because of how you approach them. The same genuosity that you presented with me, you do that with everybody. And
Right.
I think a lot of people, gravitate to you because of that. You like, where does that come from?
Man, it's just one of those. I try to be that person to others that I was looking for when I was coming up. When we was trying to strive and build, we didn't have a lot of people to go to how trainers got nowadays. Now it's several of us out here that are great at what we do, and a lot of upcoming trainers. They're just a click of away. They can send a DM or they can pull up. Whereas when we were started, we didn't have that many people accessible via DM, or we didn't have that many people we could pull up on because, like you said, it was only a handful of us that had that platform that was respected. But now
Right.
it's a lot of dope trainers and a lot of dope platforms out here, not only in Atlanta, but across the world that you can pull from. So I just try to be that person. If someone reach out for, question or advice, I didn't have that when I was coming up. So if I can spend a minute, 2 minutes, or give somebody a little information, then that's what I'm gonna do because you may never know when you may need to pick that person's brain because we're good at what we do, but we're never gonna be the best or the greatest. We'll be one of the best or one of the
Right.
greatest. You see what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people out here that sell product, but somebody may be selling more than us. If I see somebody that just sold 1,000,000 units and I only sold 1,000, I need to holler at him and see what he did to sell 1,000,000 units. And maybe he can tell me
Exactly.
something that I don't know. So, I just try to, you know, build my archive of people that I can trust and communicate with. So we ever need something, we can be there for one another versus trying to find something and don't have it.
There you go. So I'm not gonna keep you too long, 'cause I know you got stuff to do and got a class to get ready for. But what would be, or what is the next thing in line or coming up for the Guru of Abs? What do you
I,
have
I would
coming
say
up?
the next thing coming up will be we got some new innovative products, but the one thing I say I'm looking forward to is myself and you bringing back this exclusive this
Shoot.
this exclusive program that's go make some noise. Like you say, we've been sitting back, we've been humble, we've been waiting, but like now it's time to just let them have it, man. It's no better time than now than to let them have it. The whole world is looking down due to COVID-19, so we need to give them the reason to get up and look up once again.
Well, there you guys had it. I was trying to pull some information out of them, and there you guys had it. And a lot of people they're waiting for that. They are waiting for the bad boys of fitness to reunite, and I think it's about that time. So I ain't gonna hold you up too long, man. I definitely appreciate you for blessing the platform. You are my first, what do you call it? Appearance. I don't even know if you call it appearance, but
Guest.
you are
First guest.
yes. There you go.
First
You are
guest.
my first guest on my podcast, the Fit Plug, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. I wish you the most success in everything that you're doing. You definitely have my support, and always here for you, brother. If you ever need anything, and hope you guys are ready because we're gonna partner up on this bad boys of fitness and give you guys
Yeah.
something that y'all been missing for a very long time.
That's
And
it.
again, man, thank you for coming through.
You
That's
already know,
about
bro.
it, man. You got anything?
Nah, hey, y'all know the motto. If you follow me, man, follow my lead and no fat foam to get your stomach about it will prosper. Remember that.
There you go, man. Appreciate it, man. I'll holler at you later.
All right, bro.
Peace out.